Excerpt from The God Game, The God Series, Book 1. Author Mike Hockney, from page 133. God versus Satan. Every aspect of the universe evolves to its optimal degree, its omega point. If the two primary components of the mind are intellect and will, then God represents the omega point of the former and Satan of the latter. God achieves complete knowledge of the universe via mathematics, and complete intellectual mastery of material existence. He can use his mind to alter the equations that determine material existence in his local environment and achieve the kind of power exhibited by Neo in the Matrix. God is dialectically opposed by Satan, the Lord of Will. We can't think of any better way of defining Satan than to refer to the monster worship by Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Just read their unholy texts. You will observe that their God never says anything intellectual. All holy texts are devoid of mathematics, science, philosophy, reason, and logic, and make no attempt to account for this extraordinary absence. They emphasize irrational concepts such as faith and revelation, and insanely claim that these are superior to reason. These books have no moral or ethical content. They feel no need to account for why God would order his first prophet Abraham to murder his innocent son for no reason. They do not consider that such an order inherently violates any code of morality. These holy books are overwhelmingly about control and dominance, about making human beings bow and grovel. They are intent on creating the widest possible gap between God and humanity. Human beings are to be mere insects, begging for mercy from their Lord and Master. Humanity is reduced to penal servitude, where they must blindly and absolutely obey, and live in terror of the most horrific and indeed eternal punishment if they disobey. Abrahamism is obsessed with obedience. In fact, obedience is really the sole subject of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Heresy, apostasy, free thinking are all to be met with death. Infidels are to be persecuted and killed. The degree of intolerance and hatred towards those who reject the Abrahamic God is effectively infinite. Hatred, intolerance, extremism, fanaticism, irrationality, violence, persecution, and extermination are the hallmarks of Abrahamism. These are all manifestations of will. The God of the Jews, Christians, and Muslims is pure will. He exhibits zero intellectual capacity and never at any time explains himself rationally. There is no dialogue between this God and humanity. We must obey him, no matter if it means killing our own children. That's the whole point of the story of Abraham. Only self-hating slaves could ever embrace Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. These are not the people of God, but of Satan. We barely acknowledge them as human. They are an insult to the human race and represent everything that is worst about human beings. They are bestial, irrational creatures of will, indistinguishable from animals. The God they worship is nothing but themselves writ large. If they were to acquire immense power, they would wish to rule over a planet of slaves, permanently on their knees in worship. Abraxas is the God of reason, and Jehovah Christ Allah Satan is the God of will. Which God you choose to acknowledge says everything about you. Better an atheist than a devil-worshipping Jew, Christian, or Muslim. Just as some people will embark on the quest to become God, others will follow the other path and seek to become Satan. Look at the men and women of Wall Street and Washington, D.C. Look at monarchs and celebrities and the super rich. All of these people are evil scum who have actively chosen to emulate Satan. They want to be worshipped by the stupid, credulous common herd. Would-be Satans are everywhere. We are surrounded by them. Fosters and archons. All conscious creatures have the ability to achieve gnosis and become God. However, gnosis is usually accomplished by higher beings than humans. Where Abrahamists refer to angels and demons, we refer to Fosters, higher beings of lights and reason, enlightened emissaries of Abraxas.